Alex was an unassuming employee at a mid-sized tech company, known for his quiet demeanor and diligent work ethic. He was the kind of person who blended into the office background, rarely drawing attention to himself. Colleagues appreciated his reliability. He was always willing to lend a hand or offer support on projects. However, there was one peculiar habit that set him apart. Every night, without fail, Alex would leave the office a full hour before the official closing time. At first, it seemed harmless. Perhaps he had personal commitments or simply preferred to get home early. But as days turned into weeks, curiosity began to bubble beneath the surface. Whispers circulated around the break room as co-workers speculated about his early exits. Some thought he might be pursuing another job, while others wondered if he had a family obligation that demanded his attention. Management, too, took notice of this unusual pattern and began to question whether Alex's early departures were impacting his productivity. Despite their growing concerns, no one dared to confront him directly. Instead, they watched from a distance, intrigued and puzzled. It was this atmosphere of curiosity and concern that caught the attention of Mr. Thompson, the company's undercover CEO. Known for his commitment to understanding employee dynamics, he decided to delve deeper into Alex's routine, determined to uncover the truth behind the mysterious departures that had captivated both staff and leadership alike. Mr. Thompson, the CEO of the company, was a man known for his hands-on leadership style and a genuine commitment to understand the lives of his employees. Unlike many executives who remain cloistered in their offices, he believed that true leadership involved connecting with people at all levels. He frequently mingled with staff, engaging in conversations that revealed the challenges they faced both inside and outside of work. When he first learned of Alex's early departures, Mr. Thompson felt a spark of curiosity ignite within him. He had always valued transparency and open communication, but recognized that sometimes the most insightful stories were hidden behind closed doors. Rather than delegating this investigation to human resources, he decided to take matters into his own hands and observe Alex directly. Disguising himself as a regular employee, he donned a casual outfit that would help him blend into the office environment. He understood the importance of maintaining anonymity to avoid influencing Alex's behavior. As he prepared for this undercover mission, Mr. Thompson reflected on the potential implications of what he might find. Would Alex's early exits be innocent, or was there something more profound at play? With each passing day, Mr. Thompson's anticipation grew. He was determined to uncover the truth about Alex's routine, and, in doing so, better understand the dynamics of his team. Little did he know that this journey would lead him to unexpected insights about not just Alex, but also the organization's culture as a whole. To prepare for his undercover mission, Mr. Thompson underwent a careful transformation. He understood that to blend in with the staff, he needed to adopt a casual appearance and demeanor distinctly different from his usual executive presence. Gone were the tailored suits and polished shoes. Instead, he opted for a simple pair of jeans and a comfortable polo shirt, topped off with a well-worn jacket that suggested he was just another employee navigating the daily grind. Mr. Thompson even adjusted his grooming, letting go of meticulously styled hair that usually framed his face. He wore a baseball cap pulled low over his brow, casting a shadow that would help conceal his identity. Each detail was essential. He wanted to be just another face in the crowd, someone who could engage casually with co-workers without raising suspicion. As he stepped into the office on his first day in disguise, he consciously adopted a more relaxed demeanor. He moved through the space with ease, greeting colleagues with friendly nods and casual smiles. It was important for him to appear approachable, to encourage conversations without revealing his true purpose. Throughout the day, Mr. Thompson immersed himself in the rhythm of office life. He listened intently to discussions around him, absorbing information and observing interactions between employees. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, but his focus remained on one thing: understanding why Alex felt compelled to leave early each night. This undercover experience was not just about surveillance. It was about building connections and gaining insights into the heart of his company. As the days went by, Mr. Thompson grew increasingly determined to uncover the reason behind Alex's early departures. He positioned himself strategically at his desk, always keeping an eye on the clock as the end of the workday approached. When the time came for Alex to leave, Mr. Thompson felt a rush of adrenaline. This was the moment he had been waiting for. With a casual air, he gathered his belongings and followed Alex at a safe distance, careful not to draw attention. The office was bustling with employees winding down their tasks, which provided a perfect cover for his discreet pursuit. However, maintaining his disguise proved more challenging than he anticipated. As he navigated through the throngs of co-workers, he needed to balance blending in with staying close enough to observe Alex without being noticed. In the parking lot, Mr. Thompson watched as Alex walked briskly toward his car, noting how he seemed focused and purposeful. The CEO felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. This was uncharted territory for him. Just as he was about to make his move, a colleague called out to him, momentarily diverting his attention. In that split second, Alex glanced back and Mr. Thompson froze, holding his breath until Alex turned away. Regaining his composure, Mr. Thompson continued to follow from a distance as they both exited the office premises. With every step of the journey, he wrestled with maintaining his cover while piecing together the puzzle of Alex's life outside of work, a life that was slowly unfolding before him. As Mr. Thompson followed Alex day after day, he found himself navigating a labyrinth of unexpected twists that complicated his investigation. Just when he thought he had a grasp on Alex's routine, the employee would take an unforeseen turn. One evening, instead of heading toward the familiar road that led home, Alex veered left into a bustling neighborhood filled with small shops and cafes. Mr. Thompson's heart raced. He quickly adjusted his path, determined not to lose sight of him. The twist didn't end there. On another night, Mr. Thompson watched as Alex parked his car and walked toward a community center. Intrigued, he parked nearby and observed as Alex entered the building. When he emerged an hour later, he was accompanied by a group of children laughing and chatting animatedly. Mr. Thompson felt a pang of confusion. What was Alex doing here? Over the next few nights, the pattern continued. Sometimes Alex would meet with different individuals, exchanging warm greetings and heartfelt hugs. These encounters were often spontaneous, making it difficult for Mr. Thompson to piece together the full story. Each unexpected turn added layers of Alex's character that Mr. Thompson hadn't anticipated. These moments sparked a whirlwind of questions in Mr. Thompson's mind. Was Alex involved in community work? Did he have family obligations? With every twist in the journey, Mr. Thompson realized that understanding Alex's life was far more complex than simply tracking his early departures from work. The deeper he dove into this investigation, the more he recognized the richness of Alex's world outside the office, a world brimming with purpose and connection that was just waiting to be uncovered. As Mr. Thompson continued to follow Alex, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, revealing a hidden life that painted a much more complex picture than he had anticipated. One evening, after taking the unexpected route to the community center, Mr. Thompson watched as Alex engaged with a group of children from the local neighborhood. It became clear that Alex was not just an ordinary employee, but someone deeply invested in his community. Over time, Mr. Thompson learned that Alex volunteered several evenings a week at the community center, mentoring kids in science and technology. The joy on Alex's face as he interacted with them spoke volumes about his passion for helping others. Mr. Thompson observed how Alex took the time to explain concepts patiently, encouraging their curiosity and fostering a sense of confidence in each child. However, it wasn't just volunteer work that defined Alex's life outside the office. Mr. Thompson also caught glimpses of personal struggles that added depth to his understanding. One night, he noticed Alex receiving a phone call that visibly troubled him. He heard snippets about family issues and financial pressures that weighed heavily on his shoulders. It became apparent to Mr. Thompson that while Alex was dedicated to his job, he was also balancing significant responsibilities at home. This revelation transformed Mr. Thompson's perspective entirely. Instead of viewing Alex's early departures as mere absences, he came to understand them as vital moments for a man striving to juggle various roles: an employee, a mentor, and a family member navigating complexities of life. This newfound awareness ignited a sense of empathy within Mr. Thompson, urging him to rethink how the company could support employees like Alex in their multifaceted lives. After several weeks of following Alex, Mr. Thompson felt a mix of anticipation and trepidation as he prepared for the inevitable confrontation. One evening, as Alex finished his volunteer shift at the community center, Mr. Thompson decided it was time to reveal himself. He approached Alex, taking a deep breath to steady his nerves, knowing that this moment could change everything. "Alex," he began, his voice steady yet gentle, "I need to talk to you." Alex turned, shock washing over his face as he recognized a man who had been observing him all this time. "Mr. Thompson?" he stammered, disbelief etched across his features. The air between them crackled with tension as Alex's mind raced to comprehend the situation. "I've been following you for a while now," Mr. Thompson continued, choosing his words carefully. "I want to understand why you leave early every night. What I found, it's impressive and deeply moving." Alex's expression shifted from confusion to vulnerability, his emotions swirling beneath the surface. "You've been watching me," he replied, a mix of embarrassment and defensiveness creeping into his voice. "Why didn't you just ask?" "I wanted to see firsthand what drives you," Mr. Thompson admitted, his tone sincere. "You're not just an employee. You're someone who gives so much back to your community while managing personal challenges that I didn't know about." In that moment, Alex felt exposed yet understood. The walls he had built around himself began to crumble as he grappled with the revelation that his CEO had taken such a deep interest in him. It was a surreal encounter, one that would mark a turning point in both their lives, igniting a conversation about support, understanding, and the importance of recognizing the whole person behind the employee title. As the initial shock of the confrontation began to fade, Mr. Thompson and Alex found themselves seated on a nearby bench outside the community center, the sun setting softly in the background. It felt like a pivotal moment, a chance for both men to connect on a deeper level. "I didn't realize how much you were juggling," Mr. Thompson said, his voice filled with genuine concern. "Your commitment to the community is commendable, but I'm curious, how do you balance it all?" Alex took a deep breath, grateful for the opportunity to share his perspective. "It's not easy," he admitted. "I leave work early to mentor these kids because I believe they need guidance and support. But sometimes it feels overwhelming. I have family responsibilities too. My parents need help with medical expenses, and I'm trying to make ends meet." Mr. Thompson nodded, his heart heavy with empathy. "I understand now that your early departures are not about shirking responsibilities at work. They're about fulfilling other important commitments in your life." They spoke candidly about work-life balance, with Alex expressing how difficult it was to find time for himself amidst all his obligations. Mr. Thompson shared insights from his own experiences, acknowledging that many employees face similar struggles. "Moving forward," he said earnestly, "we need to create an environment that supports our employees' lives outside of work. Your dedication deserves recognition, and we should find ways to accommodate those who are balancing multiple roles." In that moment, both men recognized the importance of understanding each other's realities. The conversation marked the beginning of a new chapter, not just for Alex, but for the entire company, as they sought to foster a culture of empathy and support that honored the complexities of every employee's life. The enlightening conversation with Alex profoundly impacted Mr. Thompson's perception of the company's culture and policies. As he reflected on their discussion, he recognized that many employees were likely facing similar challenges, balancing work commitments with personal responsibilities that often went unnoticed. Determined to make a difference, Mr. Thompson convened a meeting with his leadership team to share his insights. "We need to rethink our approach to work hours and employee well-being," he asserted, his voice filled with conviction. "Our current policies may not be serving our people as they should." He proposed the idea of flexible work hours, allowing employees to adjust their schedules based on personal commitments. This flexibility would not only support those like Alex who were engaged in community service or caring for family members, but also foster a healthier work-life balance across the organization. Moreover, Mr. Thompson stressed the importance of creating an environment where employees felt comfortable sharing their challenges without fear of judgment. "We should implement regular check-ins and provide resources for mental health support," he suggested, envisioning a workplace where open communication was encouraged. The leadership team was receptive, recognizing the potential benefits of these changes. As discussions continued, they brainstormed initiatives such as family leave programs and volunteer time off, creating pathways for employees to engage meaningfully with their communities. With each proposed change, Mr. Thompson felt a renewed sense of purpose, one rooted in empathy and understanding. He understood that by prioritizing the well-being of employees, the company would not only enhance morale and productivity, but also cultivate a culture of loyalty and commitment that would ultimately benefit everyone involved. As the dust settled from their transformative conversation, both Alex and Mr. Thompson took a moment to reflect on the journey they had undertaken together. Alex felt a profound sense of relief and validation. He had long carried the weight of his responsibilities in silence, and now, for the first time, he felt seen and understood. "I never imagined that my early departures would lead to such an important conversation," he admitted. "It's refreshing to know that my struggles were recognized and that there's a willingness to support employees like me." Mr. Thompson nodded, his own heart swelling with gratitude for the insights Alex had shared. "This experience has opened my eyes to the realities many employees face every day," he replied thoughtfully. "I've learned that effective communication and genuine curiosity are crucial in fostering a workplace where everyone feels valued." Both men understood that this was just the beginning of a larger shift within the company. The changes they envisioned, flexible hours, mental health resources, and a culture of openness, were not merely policies but pathways toward building stronger relationships between management and staff. As they parted ways that evening, both Alex and Mr. Thompson felt inspired by the potential for positive change. They realized that when leaders take the time to understand their employees' lives, it creates a ripple effect of empathy throughout the organization. With newfound purpose, they committed to nurturing an environment where communication flourished, ensuring that every voice could be heard and every challenge acknowledged, a promise that would ultimately benefit them all.